Shinnecock territory. Today, you know it as New York.
With all due respect to the Shinnecock, and Rod Hayes is not a Shinnecock, but Rod Hayes, you're full of fucking shit. The Shinnecock are one of 13 Long Island tribes, and they were located on the furthest end of Long Island.
That's Shinnecock territory.
On the furthest end of Long Island.
And they had the Shinnecock Nation.
On the furthest end of Long Island. On the furthest end of Long Island. On the furthest end of Long Island.
Consists of varying other tribes that was tied to their leadership in an affiliation of tribes that stretch from Maine all the way to what you call the Great Lakes State, Michigan.
Why is this man lying to you? Like, why is this man lying on a nation, an entire nation of people who still exist in Long Island? Like, they're still there. Their nation is there, right? They can speak for themselves. They maintain their historical continuity. So why are you lying about the Shinnecock? This man is lying. Why? Why? Because he doesn't respect his audience. Because he'll say anything to the people whose attention he has. Because he won't come around no Shinnecock saying this shit. He won't come around no Lenape saying this shit.
Where Pennsylvania butts up against, what's that, Lake Huron, I think, or Erie? I keep forgetting. But anyway, the lakes, the all of that territory coming from the Lake Superior in the north, coming down into Lake Huron, all that was Shinnecock territory.
Clearly, you can see the Shinnecock were one of 13 tribes in Long Island. They were not the ruling tribe of Long Island, nor were they the ruling tribe of the Algonquin nations. Now, what this man is confused about is Algonquin-speaking nations and separate tribes. All of these tribes in this area were Algonquin-speaking tribes. That does not mean they were under the rulership of the Shinnecock. The Shinnecock speak an Eastern Algonquin dialect, which is closely related to the dialect spoken by the New England tribes. The dialect spoken in Manhattan would be Muncie, not Eastern Algonquin. This man be running the old ass plays from like 20 years ago. What he's trying to do is put focus on the Shinnecock, who are a highly amalgamated people. They intermix with Africans. One of the most famous was one Paul Cuffey, who migrated from the New England area. Right? We could go into that, but there's no need. This man is lying to you. He's trying to use the Shinnecock because of their appearance, because they are so African looking. That's because they're mixed, like all the other Eastern woodland tribes. But he wants you to focus on them because they look African, because they look like African Americans. And then he wants to imply that they're the actual rulers from the Great Lakes to New York. That's all a lie. It's a grift. A pathetic attempt to rewrite history by an ex-convict. And I don't care who don't like me for that shit. Tired of motherfuckers celebrating these ex-cons. This nigga's a grifter. He was sent to destabilize the black community with all this bullshit. This nigga knows everything from the Anunnaki. Now he's telling us about who the Shinnecock are, and he's completely wrong. And how many of you are going to continue to support this grifter? This is the problem with the black community. We support bullshit grifters like this. This man is clearly lying. Shinnecock are not the dominant tribe that controlled the territory from the Great Lakes to New York. That's a
Shinnecock
fucking
were
lie. He
gangs,
made
bro.
that up because he wants to piggyback off the
you don't know
Shinnecock being
nothing
highly
about the
melanated and use them to push his
Daddy.
bullshit narrative, which is the same shit Dane Calloway did and why he got sued. Because he's using the image of a Shinnecock woman to push his bullshit narrative about the real Indians being black. Fuck out of here. The Shinnecock are still there. They've maintained their identity and culture. So, Rod Hayes, you don't have to speak for them. They can speak for themselves.